Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Yes, was a long night. Let's just put it that way. Just complications, not a low blood sugar. So, you decide to get one of these devices. I'm actually 10.8, not too bad. But, so, pumps can do an awful lot for you. However, you still have to put work into them. And that's a plus. That you still have to have control. Now, the first thing you really have to do for an awful lot of pumps, whether you're dealing with Omnipod and a Dexcom or Medtronic, or there's T-Slim out there. Pretty much a lot of the pumps you have to calibrate, and you still have to do a blood sugar. You still have to enter that blood sugar. You still have to count your carbs. There's a whole bunch of stuff you still have to do. And it helps you to gain better control. You could sit there and say, I'm not going to worry about it. Well, your pump will stop working. It'll stop giving you insulin until you do a calibration again. You have to make sure you change your sensors. You have to make sure you change your sites, because it's a little bit different than just having a shot 4 or 5 times. You just drop, you shoot it, and you're fine for hours. The pump needs a little bit more attention. What's good about the pump is it allows me to see over a 24-hour period, what's happened with my blood sugars. So you know, are you going down? Are you coming up? What's happening? So there's a lot of give and take. Now I know with what I've seen on, the Omnipod, you have to drop insulin into a valve and you have to inject it into pod. You have to have a PDM, pump delivery mechanism, or some PDM. I'm sorry, you could comment all you want. I don't remember what the term actually is. But, you know, if your pump runs out of insulin, it's not going to do you any good. So you need to be alert. You need to make sure your sensors are all calibrated to your pump so it can deliver the insulin that your body needs. Oh my God. You have to make sure you have your supplies. Now, supplies shouldn't be a big deal, but it can be a big deal. And you can't really interchange supplies. Sort of like the barrel of the syringe from an Omnipod can't work with a Medtronic pump. And you need to be aware of this. And that's why I've mentioned it a number of times to you. You need to have your Go kit with you whenever you go out that would have a change. Because, you know, you may say, oh, well, I'm only going to go out for a minute. Well, there may be a damage to your tubing or you may have run out of insulin. You need to be able to do that and do it quick. So while you're not pricking yourself 4 times a day, the pump itself, I'm only speaking for Medtronic right now, the tubing lasts for 3 days. Now, the Omnipod, from my understanding and from my reading, also just lasts for 3 days. So, what's the big problem? Well, your body's going to start rejecting it. Anything you leave in for a while, your body will start to reject it. 3 days is probably about the amount of insulin that can be carried. And don't just think, oh well, I can let it go. Because A, your site is going to get sore. B, your site's going to get infected. And that is, little things like you just move and your pump site could get sore. So, make sure you have more than enough supplies at home, at the office, in your school locker, wherever it's handy. If you want to carry it in a bag, I have a knapsack which I take with me, and that allows me to be able to get things in line and to keep my blood sugars in line. Because remember, we want to make sure our blood sugars are always in line. And if they're not, you're going to run into complications later. It'll never happen to me. Trust me. I didn't think any of this was going to add to me. Now I'm in a long-term facility with my diabetes is one of the main culprits. So, keeping your blood sugar in line is the important thing. Now, the pump can help you do that if you give the care it needs. So, calibration. Typing in the amount of carbs you need when you eat breakfast or lunch or dinner or snacks. You're still going to need to have to know to count carbs, because as of things so far, got that out, did I? You don't have to, it can't automatically read food. You don't put it in front of a device and it automatically reads foods. There's, like for your iPads, and iPhones or any phones, there's apps that will be able to tell you how much carbs are in things. You'll learn and continue on. Invest in a book about type 1 diabetes and carb counting. Pumps have offered a great release for type 1 diabetics. It's released us from doing shots all the time. It can help you gain the control that you probably be looking for. However, if you don't, and you don't give it the care it needs, you're going to be out to lunch. And I'm not trying to be so down in the dumps. My pump has offered me the greatest feelings of freedom. However, if I get a site pulled out that I don't change, within 2 hours, I could be headed for a DKA. And no one wants that. So, pumps aren't the answer for everyone. Could be the answer for you. Pumps need work to keep going. So, just something to think about. Have a great day. We'll talk again soon. Bye now.